So branch and tree, pretty much what we're getting is an out route of the number two receiver. He's going to be working either an 8-yard out or a 10-yard out. Okay. In the game, we're going to have to work that out. But let's just start with this first play here, branch drive. Okay. And it's like I had said, it's pretty much a split call where the first, you start with the branch and then you work to the drive. Okay. This is actually one call that they have. We can kind of replicate in Madden with the formation west, right, zen. Okay, so we'll talk about that. And let's look at the playbook that we have from the 49ers. Okay, so here are some of the routes that we have that they put in the install. Very similar to kind of like how we have already set up in Madden in some plays. So it's actually pretty nice for us. But let's just talk about tree. Okay, so tree is the deeper version of a branch. Right, a tree is bigger than a branch. So tree is, again, from this formation, the number one read here is running a 10-yard out. Okay. And just so you know, however the formation set up, the outside receiver, okay, is either going to run a vertical, right? Or sometimes you'll see some other routes in the game of Madden. It's not going to be perfect. We're going to get some other routes that kind of end up working to the outside and deep. But the main read is that we're going to work off of reading the number one receiver. Look at that out. Okay. 10-yard out and tree. Okay. And then we have a drive concept on the backside. And drive is pretty generic to the system. We're going to have just our backside element of the route. We're going to have a shallow with the outside number one receiver, and then the inside receiver is going to be running a 10-yard basic or 12 to 14-yard basic or dig. Okay. And then the fourth option would be the running back checking through and coming through to the backside. Okay. So where this concept by itself was just an old school West Coast concept, just drive, right? We're attaching this out breaking route here, which is going to be good because it could define the coverage for us. All right. If we're just reading if guys are open, but we also have to start getting into the habit of understanding who are we attacking, who's the defender that's pretty much going to give us a very quick read so we can start eliminating other plays. Now, I'll say this, the progressions on this route here, and you do see this, by the way, I didn't say this, this drive route will sit down versus zone. It will continue to carry versus man, and it is your second option, right? And I've always said this when I talk to you guys. In the Madden world, it's really hard, in my opinion, or even in real life, to go one. I've heard Kurt Warner talk about this, two to three to four. You don't have the time to do that. And a lot of times the reads will actually be eliminated a lot quicker. So let's just say there is like a nickel standing out here. And if he just flies out and Madden and just sits there right now, in your first step, or let's say it's a user out there, you don't have to go through your, hey, let me make sure it's going to be open by the time I get to the top of my drop. Honestly, eliminate it right away and then just start going to the next reads. Okay. And then also, I've always felt when it comes to Madden and you have guys in the field, users that play with the middle linebacker, I've always felt as of late that it's really hard to sit there and go 2 to 3 because users would do the same thing. They would go 2 and then jump back to 3. And they just basically go through your progressions with you and take away your routes. They bait you, right? So what I'm saying to you guys is it's more like this is 2A and 2B, right? So once you go to your second read, which one of these are open when you look? If the guy's standing in between it and you don't know, then maybe you just might want to go to your next read, which would be your 4 or your 3. If you can tell that, oh, he's a little bit deep, there's no way he's going to be able to come up and break on this one, I'm going to throw it to the underneath guy. Especially routes that are that close together, it's really hard sometimes to actually make it a pure read, okay? So what I want to just show you, though, I don't want to make this too complicated. It's just, this is an example here of one formation. Let's see here. Let's look at this one over here. Double right, close, right? So, they liked a lot of motioning in. We can't get that in Madden right now unless we use some of the cheat motion stuff. I think we could get to that, but I'm not going to put in cheat motion right now. But you're just reading 1, 2, 3, 4. Easy, right? Across the board. All right. And so the combination again is tree, and then we have drive on the backside. So we'll start learning the names of these plays as we go along. Let me just show you another play here that should be pretty much ready. Okay, so we have this in the game already. It's one of the play calls. I won't show it to you, but you guys probably seen it already. I think it's in the double open formation. Okay, we have branch, follow. Okay, so Branch is another 8 yard out. So one's going vertical. He's an alert. You can look for him. Don't worry about it. You're pretty much going to throw the 8 yard out. All right. So that's how it's different. Branch is 8 yards, tree is 10 yards. Okay. And then you're going to work the follow concept. So the follow concept is just a levels concept, very popular again in the indie offense, right? You see how that kind of pops up again? But it's a backside concept. It's not like how an indie, this would be your front side concept. This is actually a backside concept. So we have three receivers to the right. So you're going to go through your normal reads as you see there, 1 to 2 to 3. It should be pretty easy to see. You just work across the board. Okay. So let's jump on the Madden field and let's take a look at this. Okay, so the first one we're going to take a look at was the play we saw. It was three jet, okay, branch drive. It's going to be at a west right zen. All right, so this one I like to put on the right hash. West right zen again is west is the two tight ends together on the same side. And the zen formation is the alignment of that slot formation. It's a close kind of slot formation, right? So 12 personnel is the drive right corner. All right. And I'm just going to pick for now, just so I can control it. I'm going to call cover one. All right. I like to put this on the right hash. Again, some of this stuff is very specific because of the protections that we have to go through. So you guys have seen the protection video. This is actually three jet. So three jet has the running back going to the left. All right. So I'm going to take the running back and put him into his block and release pattern. Right. There we go. All right. We would take our protection. We would slide it to the half slide to the right. Make sure our Mike is the middle of the three backers or whoever you think deserves to be the Mike linebacker. Okay. So there we go. All right. Now, from a passing game standpoint, this is not the best spacing of really having the number one receiver, push that coverage up the field with a vertical. If you want to motion him out, you can, but I'm going to leave it alone. But we have to make one change with Kittle. All right. So Kittle is running a corner route. We're just going to put him on out route. Okay. Now, the great thing about this game in general, which is different than any other Madden, is that we can control the depth. This is why this offense is more attractive now, because we can take the X receiver, the tight end, and actually just push them up to 8, 10, whatever we want. Okay, so this is going to be branch, so we can just bring them down to about 8 yards. And if you do it very slightly with the left stick, you will the left stick, you will get 1 yard increments. Okay, so the number one read right there is the out. It's also technically our hot read right now, but also in this system, I didn't even look at the hot reads with you guys. Hold on one second. Let me take a look. So tree drive, as you see here, the drive route is the hot route. Okay, so let's remember that. Tree drive, the hot route is going to be the it's not going to be the out route, it's going to be the drive route. Okay. So again, it takes two to come off basically the guys that are highlighted both, well, all the way from the halfbacks man, the Mike. If two guys come, then you're hot. Otherwise, we should be picked up. Okay. And then we would just go through our progression. I don't think that Samuel is going to stop on this route. I think he's going to continue to go. But again, like I told you, you need to make the read kind of simultaneously with the dig route. Okay. But we know this is cover one man, so I already gave you guys the coverage. So the first read should be there unless something happens. Don't like how he got bumped on that one. Don't like that at all. And also that drive is coming pretty quick, right? I'm just gonna mess around with this. This is my first time doing it. I'm just moving him out. I'm not gonna probably use all these motions. I just want to see how quickly he's gonna go. You do have to be aware that the tight end's route does get kind of screwy when it comes to if he gets bumped or not. You might want to keep it at 5 yards. Because if he gets bumped, he gets out too fast there, okay? All right. Now, cover one hole is really bad it's really going to cover up your second and third option. So you got to kind of rely that the tight end's going to win on this one. This may not be the best formation to do it out of, to be honest with you, especially with this front. So you start learning like, okay, versus a 4 down front where they have a defensive end that's in a 7 technique over the top of my tight end. It might take them a while to get out. You know what I mean? And then it kind of messes up the spacing of that route concept. But you get the idea. Okay. All right. Let's take a look at a different one. Okay. So let's come back over here. We have branch follow. Let me actually zoom in a little bit for you guys. Okay. So right here, highlighted is branch follow. All right. So this is going to be, we can do this either way. So we go double right. If we go double right, two jet, if we double right open, the plus sign means that it's in the gun. I know, like, I think the McVeigh system or some other systems just say gun double right. I don't know why Shanahan doesn't do that. I don't know what the whole plus and minus, but he might actually say gun in the actual headset. So gun double right open. Okay. Two jet branch follow. All right. Let's make sure that I'm going to make sure that's right. I'm pretty sure that is right. So let's go back to the field. All right. So double open is the formation that is double Y flex in Madden. Okay. So let's go back. I ran this for a first down in my game last night, which I will go back and watch with you. But out levels has been in the game for a while. This is exactly the play you need. Okay. So I'm going to give you some different looks here. Actually, I'll just go random. I'll test my skills. Okay. So, but we have the good old, this is technically branch. So that is, again, the 8 yard out by Jennings. And then we have the levels concept or the follow concept on the right hand side. So the number 2 is supposed to be Kittle. Number 3 would be my outside receiver. And the back naturally is going to the right. So this is two jet. All right. So to get our protection right, we will half slide to the left. The mic point is set, but I always like to remic it just in case. Sometimes I feel like sometimes it doesn't show you exactly what it should be. It takes the mic plus, in this case, the Sam linebacker who's walked out over the tight end to come, or anybody else, two to come off that side. It takes two to be hot to the right. Okay. And to the left, technically. All right. So let's just go through this, go through our reads. A little bit late there, but I went to my third read. I should have eliminated sooner. This is what I'm talking about because look at how the outside nickel, right? Look how he played this route. He jumped outside right away, took it away. So at that point, I should have gone right to my next read, which is the tight end. It took time for the tight end to get there. I'm looking at it right now. Right now, like I had told you, this read really should be your 2. And then obviously you have your 3, which your underneath route. I threw that late. I should have eliminated number 2 a lot sooner. If you're just looking at the actual underneath coverage and you're not sure, like you're waiting for number 2 to get open, don't wait. Just go to your next read. All right. Because just honestly, by the time in this game, even with the poor pass rush sometimes in Madden, you need to get to the next read. And then honestly, there's a good chance that this linebacker is going to play with so much depth. And the same thing here, that number 2 is never going to open for you. Go to 3. And if 3 is not there, go to number 4. Okay. So if you look at this coverage, it looks like this is some sort of cover 6, right? It looks like cover 6. Over here, you got quarters to the left. You got cover 2 to the right. All right. So the underneath route got to be open. So, yeah, I'm not perfect at this stuff. You can look at pre-snap leverage, kind of anticipate where you might go with the ball, but you just still go through your reads. For some reason, my left tackle, the vision of the left tackle got me. And you know what I didn't do there? Something that I do all the time is protections, right? So there was no blitz, but I just saw that my left tackle got housed. And I just I kind of froze on it. But obviously, if we go through our reads here, right? 1, no, right? 2, probably yes, right? So that would be your next read. Give him the ball, okay? The outside guy is an alert if you like it. As soon as I saw that safety not really get over the top, I could have potentially said, I'm going to go with the deep shot there, but you would probably have to eliminate your first read if you're kind of looking at that as your an alert play, all right? So this is a good play that we saw here. This looks kind of like a bracket coverage. That's what this was. This is double bracket, all right? And they played that like so. All right. This looks like all out pressure, right? So let's be smart about this. Let's use some of the stuff that we talked about, right? Let's go with the half slide. We got the half slide. We know who's probably coming. It's going to be those probably the 2, in this case, the Sam and the Mike, or Sam and the Will, okay? So how do you protect that then, right? What would you do? Well, if we know the protection is going to the left, the Will's going to get picked up with the O-line's going to pick up the Will. Our linebacker right now is going to, our running back is going to pick up that Sam if he comes. The one thing we do have to be aware of is the potential of what the mic could add on. Okay. Now, as I'm over here talking to you guys, poor job by me. Let me go back to the branch follow. I'm going to let you know what the answer is. Technically, the hot route is the underneath outside route. Okay, it's not even the first route to the left. I personally don't like that in Madden, so I'm going to change that myself. And I want to make this hot route be to the left. Now I should have time. Technically, let me go back on that. I apologize. It's not a hot route, right? Because everything should be picked up. So you just go through your reads. But if for some reason somebody was coming clean, you would need to probably throw it, a little bit sooner. But you can see this whole thing is picked up with this 6-man pressure. Everybody picked it up. The O line picked up the blitzer, the blitzing Mike. The running back was picked up. The Sam was picked up by the running back, and we're good to go. All right. So just want to give you guys a quick example of that play. Those are 2 plays with the branch and the tree. We didn't do tree yet, but you can easily turn that into tree. Let's say you need 10 yards. You can call that tree follow. You don't have to call it branch. All right. But right now we have it set up as branch. The branch is good. It gives you that there'll be reasons why we might want to call tree, but let's just keep it for branch right now, and I'll come back to that. There'll be some other options in the book. I'm going to come back to. There's branch bow. That's another play that we have coming up in third down. I'm going to save that because I want to talk about the bow concept separately, so I'll save that for the next part.